Marching today is also a delegation of TikTok creators from around the world who came here to bear witness to the Holocaust amid massive online anti-Semitic content on social media platforms. This unique delegation is very important at this time. Let's hear what members had to tell Alex.
Hi, we're here with three content creators with large followings on TikTok. Especially, we're here with Suzanne Siegert from Germany, with Shana Heidi, an Israeli content creator, and Daniel Braun, a South African and Israeli content creator. Thank you guys so much for being here with us on the March of the Living. Obviously, anybody that studied the Holocaust would see that propaganda was a major component that fed the anti-Semitism that ultimately led Jews towards concentration camps. And we're seeing just a hate fest of anti-Israel material on social media like TikTok and others. Tell me, Suzanne, what is your approach as a content creator to defending Israel?
From Germany, so of course it's important to talk about our history and to just educate, because I think a lot of times, like, bad comments I get, they come from people not knowing. And so when I tell them where, for example, conspiracy theory is coming from, or hate is coming from, anti-Semitism is coming from, I think that a lot of the times that can change, just by educating people.
Shana, can you tell us a little bit about what it is to fight the algorithms on TikTok? We've seen that sometimes anti-Israel material can spread at a 10 or 100 to 1 rate against pro-Israel content. How are you able to get your message out there?
So I can tell you that, first of all, we know that the algorithm, we're outnumbered. There are much more people using the platforms that are against Israel or against what's happening. We have ways around it. Like, if you make a good video and you make sure that people engage with your video, like if they comment, if they share and repost, then it will get higher and more people will see it. So you just have to make good content and ask your followers and people to engage with your videos.
Daniel, maybe you can tell me what type of feedback you've experienced on some of the content that you've created, and how do you deal with feedback, especially if it's not positive?
I've received, since starting content, making content about Israel and about Jewish people and about anti-Semitism, I've received thousands of death threats against me, against my family, but honestly, the positive comments and the comments from people that tell me that I uplift them and that what I'm doing is so important and the message that I'm spreading is so valuable to these people, to these Jewish people, that gives them hope and strength, that completely outweighs the negative comments and the death threats, and I wouldn't change a thing.
What's it like to be hearing the stories of Holocaust survivors and hearing the stories of what happened here in this camp in Auschwitz in particular, and how might that affect some of your content creation in the days and weeks ahead?
I mean, I'm super thankful that they still share the story, because I think they don't have to. But and for me, I also like to include it in my content as well, because I think, no numbers, no pictures speak to the followers, of course, as well as the testimonies of survivors do. And so I'm super thankful that I can also use them in my content.
Shana, we're obviously in a difficult situation now, dealing with the aftermath of October 7th. What does it mean for you to be here in a concentration camp, seeing what happened just 80 years ago to the Jewish people here in Europe, and how does that compare to what's taking place in Israel today?
Well, it's a very good question. First of all, I have half of my family was in the Holocaust, so coming here, first of all, it's been overwhelming. And after October 7th, I feel like we all needed this unity. We all needed to feel united and together. And I'm so it's overwhelmed and excited that we are going to be marching in a place where no one thought we would ever succeed to get out alive. And we are coming back stronger. And we need to just stay united, be together, and show the world that we're not going anywhere. Not after the Holocaust and not after October 7th.
There's so much Holocaust denial at the center of a lot of the anti-Semitic activity on social media, and also some denial of what's going on in Israel today, misinformation. Tell me, what percentage of information on social media that people consume do you think is reliable information, and how do content creators counter that?
I think a lot of the information being spread on social media right now is misinformation, especially on TikTok. I think other platforms have a good way of countering that with using fact checks and putting an actual disclaimer saying that this information isn't factual. I think TikTok could use that. I think they could add that to their platform. But a large percentage of the information on the internet right now is misinformation, and it's a big problem that we as content creators are struggling with, and that people in higher powers than us, because we are only the content creators, we do not control the app. They need to put their foot down and make a stand against the misinformation.
What is the opportunity that you see, though, in social media, even as it's an upward battle to getting good information out there?
I think just when you're at school, you have like a history lesson whenever your schedule says you have. But like with TikTok, it just comes into your For You page, and maybe you scroll like over 10 videos about it, but the 11th video, you really stick to the content. And I think that's really a great chance to reach people when they feel ready to.
Suzanne, Shayna, Daniel, thank you so much for being with us. Thank you for what you're doing and getting the word out on social media. Thank you for being with us here at March for the Living.